What's going on, guys? It's DigiWatch TCG coming to you with another deck profile. Now, today I'm going to be showcasing my Ophanimon deck, or you could say a Turbo Ophanimon deck, for the Beelzemon Cup that is coming this weekend. As such, there is obviously the rules that are associated with that, where you can only play purple decks or cards that include purple with them. All colors have to essentially match each other, meaning you cannot use like a red egg for like just their engine there. You have to have everything match the same color. So with that said, we're going to talk about some of the cards, some of the choices, why I chose them. And starting with the eggs, we're going to go over Demi-Miramon. As always, please like, subscribe, and your thoughts below. So, the Demi-Miramons, I feel it's like the best egg in the game right now. I mean, there are a few others I was considering, but draw one, trash one, not much else to say about it. So we are running those 4 eggs. I guess we'll put them over here. Then in terms of the rookies, we have a lot of different rookies here to actually try out. I've been trying a few different combinations of cards, and I feel like this is pretty much a good rookie count, but I might change it depending on my playtesting a little bit more. And I'll talk about my playtest matches so far. So Psychmon at 2, we're going to see a lot of Death X this weekend. And so Psychmon obviously is a way of stopping the reducing the play cost of those cards. There's not really many other reasons to run this, so I'm only keeping it 2 for now. I can't think of anything else. I think there might be something like a Myosmon deck that does it. I can't recall if all those decks do that, but I think Psychmon's fine at 2. For the other cards, though, at 3 is the Gazimon. Now, I might change this up a little bit, but a lot of the purple cards focus also on memory gain. We have the Werewolf Cerberusmon combo that you can gain memory off of it that way. But we also have stuff like Jack Raid as well that people might be playing, Lilith, stuff like that, that might see an appearance. So having a few more of these is preferable to the Psychmon. We have a searcher in here, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to change the ratio, and it is the Salamon from the starter deck. Now, if you don't know, this can look at the top 4 of your deck, and then you can add 1 dual color purple card from them to your hand. The rest go to bottom. So this is kind of working on some of our engine. I'm only running it at 2 right now because we do run a lot of cards that can search for you, and so I think 2 is fine at the moment. And then we are going to be running a Mervamon package, so right now we are running 2 copies of Ignitemon. I am trying to up the count here a little bit to make it slightly more consistent, so we do see it in the trash. But because there is so much cycle in this deck, it's not that hard to get it to hand. So I think if I were to do anything, it may be to cut one of the Psychmon or Gazimon and put another Ignitemon in, because you are going to be playing cards by effects, and gaining that memory is very important. So that is our rookie count here. We are playing a total of 9 rookies, which is usually actually even a little high for like something like a Mastamon or a Ophanimon type of deck. But again, we're still working on it. Going into our champion lineup, we are actually running a couple different champions here. Of course, the all-star of this deck, the Godamon card. So you're really using this for the main purpose of being able to search for a dual color card, or like a purple or yellow. It gets you those pieces, so you want to look for your Lady Devimons, your Ophanimons, those consider like are yellow as well, or have yellow in their traits, so you can search for Godamon. So we have to max out of this, and of course we want to hard play it. One thing I will say in terms of my strategy, sometimes if I'm missing a piece, like I'm not going to just promote something out. Instead, I'll use some of my removal options and just keep this in a raising area over like a rookie, so I have my yellow and purple source. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are playing this deck. Let's go over the other champion lineup. So for the other champions, we are running 3 copies of Devimon. Mainly, this is there's an interesting reason for this. Some people would look at this deck and be like, "Oh, he's running Devimons. Like that's a little bit too much." But the reason for it is, first, it's a 1 cost to digivolve. So if you do need to choke your opponent, or you kind of need to easily get to your level 5. You can go into your Devimon and then go into your Lady Dev or whatever else for a reduced cost. Additionally, since we're still working the Mervamon package, because we don't really run a lot of retaliation cards in this deck, the Devimon is going to be the card you want to bring back if you are looking to stop your opponent from being able to swing in for game or something like that. The last card is 1 copy of Dobermon, because we do get a lot of graveyard, we put a lot in our trash, and sometimes we do have to recycle back some cards. The fact that you could get a Tamer is very important in this deck because you are only running one, well, only a few different Tamers, but like getting one in your hand is very important as well, just to make sure you don't get choked in this deck. So Dobermon can be interchangeable with other cards. I've tried the new Devimon, the one that has Rush, but I really think that just running that one, the Dobermon, is actually working a little bit better. Going into our level 5s, we are running pretty much the Devimon, Lady Devimon engine. So 3 copies of the old Lady Devimon. This is the one that basically says that when you draw 2 and you trash 2. It's good for cycle, draw, discarding the cards you need to be in the trash or you want it to be in the trash, and then being able to fix your hand. So very important. Also, this is inherited. You can blow up a level 3, but usually that's not a huge thing in this deck. We are running 2 copies of the starter deck, Lady Devimon. This is trash 1 and then return 1 Angel, Fallen Angel, or Archangel from your trash to your hand. The reason why we're doing this is because for this card, you want to be able to return back some of your either other Lady Devimons, or you want to get your Ophanimons if you mill them or they're stuck in your security or something like that. So running 2 of these is fine. Additionally, on your opponent's turn, your stuff gets retaliation, which can sometimes actually be really good because if you do have something with retaliation and then you end up running with the Mervimon, it'll give that big stack a retaliation as well, which is actually kind of an interesting side effect of this card. But yeah, we are running 2 copies of that. I really do like it in this deck. And also, of course, if you play a Mere or you play a Angel Woman, you'll gain a memory back if you have this on your top end there. So there's that too. Also, it can be retrieved by Flame Hellscythe. Then we are running 3 copies of Maycrack Vicious Mode. We are running this because we need to see some yellow-purple cards, and these cards are easily going to be able to go into your trash. I am thinking of maybe cutting 1 for something else. I'm not sure yet, but I do think that 3 is fine at the moment. It's been working out pretty good. If anything, right now I might cut 1 and put 1 for an extra Lady Devimon. So, yeah, that is our 5 lineup. For our level 6s and 7s, you probably saw a little bit in my screen anyway, but we are running 3 copies of the lady herself, Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. If you don't know what this does, basically you can delete 1 level 4 lower Digimon if, or sorry, I think it's a 3, no, sorry, level 4, if you have a purple source in it, and a yellow, you get to recover 1. This is really good because when you also have this, you can Digivolve on top of this, and then if your opponent does somehow get rid of this, you're going to gain 2 memory. Keep in mind that since it's a purple-only tournament, most removal is going to be by deletion, so you'll most likely be able to crack this off. No pun. But yeah, and then on deletion, you can bring back a level 4 card from your trash, which is very helpful, definitely, in this deck. We are running a bunch of other level 6s, so let's go into them as well. We are running 1 copy of Creepymon. This is your alternate win con. If you do end up getting into a situation where you just don't know if you're going to be able to win, or your opponent has like a low level of cards in their deck, Creepymon definitely can help. One thing I've noticed is because you're playing multiple purple decks, and a lot of those decks like to mill, and they're going to use mill strategies. Creepymon is essentially going to be a more easy card to bring out there. One other combo I was considering with this deck, because it's a little bit more control, is going into Golfmon. Golfmon is you reduce the hand size by 5, and if their hand size changes, I think you get to unsuspend 1 of your Digimon. So I think that was what it was. I don't remember exactly, but it was a consideration to put in with Creepymon instead of our next card. But I do like it. Bagramon. So Bagramon is actually an MVP in terms of the matchups I've had already. With Bagramon. Bagramon is a card that if a card puts another card underneath a stack or something adds to a Digivolution source, Bagramon will be able to activate its effect and be able to, I believe, trash the top card of their security. It's really good. It's just another way of removing problematic cards on the field without deletion. This is kind of the idea of the deck, is that you're kind of trying to not delete their cards, because of course you're playing purple, so purple gets deletion. So you want to play cards that actually go around this, whether it's like something like a Chaos Degradation or a Bagramon or something like that. So we are running those. We are running 2 copies of Mervamon. As mentioned before, it's a very small package of the Cross Hearts, and you can get this card back multiple ways from your trash if it ends up being in the trash. So I might up the ante and put one more Ignitemon or one more Mervamon so I can get the Digicross requirement for this card. But actually what I've been doing surprisingly more is, because I don't have as many targets in my trash, I just Digivolve it and bring back a blocker or a level 4 card. So it's not actually that bad just to Digivolve over, if you don't have anything else, of course. Or you need like another source or something like that. For our level 7s, we are playing 1 Ordinmon. Believe it or not, it's actually pretty easy to get this card out, because on deletion, this brings a card back. Usually you have something in your raising, you promo it out, you go do your whole combo. Sometimes you have about 4 memory, which is enough to get into your at least 1 copy, and then end of turn, you DNA into Ordinmon. This card has actually saved me quite a few times. Additionally, when it is deleted, you can bring it back by trashing the top card of your security, and since you are recovering with the Ophanimon, pretty easy to make sure you're kind of net zeroing. And then, of course, the last card is Death X. So Death X is your, Digivolve, de-Digivolve card, your card that can play out. Most of the time, I feel like I haven't really needed this card, honestly. I'm like on the fence of whether or not I actually even need it in the deck. But I do think that most people are going to be playing this card regardless, so I might as well. I'm not sure yet exactly what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm fixing the card. It was a little bit coming out of the sleeve. There we go. So that is basically the Digimon for this deck. And we're going to get into the options and the Tamers in just a moment. Sorry. Clean up. Okay, going into our Tamers. We actually are running a little bit different Tamers than normal. We are running 1 Matt Ashita. This is your memory tamer. Since most people, you can get away with playing just the Matt Ashita in this deck. It's not really that problematic. Returning any card from your trash is just broken. And again, sometimes you do need to get that one piece that you're missing, or an option card. So sometimes you want to play Calling by the Calling from the Darkness, and then you bring something back, and then you play Matt, get the Calling back, and just recycle cards like that. 1 Mako. Now, Mako is actually something I might still cut, because she doesn't really do as much as I would like her to do. And basically, on play, you look at the top 3, you add a purple or yellow Digimon to your hand, so it can get you to pieces. The rest get trashed. Since you are playing a lot of other options, sometimes those cards get trashed. And then when you play a card like dual color purple-yellow, you can suspend the Tamer and gain a memory. So this is just really good sometimes, where if your opponent's trying to calculate, like, alright, I'm going to Digivolve and I'm at 0 memory, then they swing, they hit like a Flame Hell Scythe or something in my security and brings back like a Gatomon or something, tap this, move it over to 1, ends their turn. So this is kind of an interesting tech, but I might change it up. I'm not sure yet. And then we are running 3 copies of Mirai. We play a lot of yellow-purple cards in this version of the build, so Mirai is very important because you do want to be able to still utilize that. Plus, you get a memory back if you... I think it's if you play... Let me see what it says exactly. I'm sorry. Sometimes I miss 1 or 2 things. But start your turn, you gain a memory. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's not the it's the Lady Devimon effect that I'm thinking of. But like Mirai here gains you a memory. So just having like the mat here and one Mirai on the field, you can easily just be able to Digivolve into your Lady Devimon or something like that, and then go into your Mega and still keep it your turn sometimes. But yeah, that is our Tamer lineup here. Still working out some kinks on it, but we're going to go into the options now. So hopefully that will explain some of the stuff here. So obviously we're playing 1 Calling from the Darkness. Revive back to Digimon from your trash into your hand is always a good and a plus. We are playing 3 copies of Purple Memory Boost. The reason why we were choosing this over something like Miss Memory Boost is because you are looking for pieces, and sometimes finding your level 5s or finding your level 4s or whatever you're missing is the more important part of it. There are going to be a lot of memory blockers, so I'm I'm a little scared to like have 3 of these. I might cut one of these for like a Deathclaw or something like that to get rid of a rookie or something like that. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking about for that. And then in terms of our removal for Flame Hell Scythe and 3 Chaos Egg, we want to see this in security, obviously, and you're not doing as much recovery, but when you do recover with Ophanimon or Dynamon, you do want to see one of these in there. Sometimes Flame Hell Scythe, honestly, like having one in your security as well as one in the hand is also very important. But yeah, this is why we're running the deck we are. Essentially, it's sort of like a pseudo security control version of a deck, to be able to just control your opponent. Your opponent is obviously they might go into a lot of Mervamon plays, so you're kind of this is a grind game deck. So you are going to try to grind against your opponent with with these cards, but that's my current build. I'm looking for advice. If you think that there's some better build, let me know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay classy.